Good morning, everyone. I planned this live today because of something that has been coming up a lot with my clients. So I was talking, I actually have a husband and wife client who I've never met in person. We actually have our coaching calls over phone, so I've never seen their faces, which is kind of weird, but also kind of neat that they've been having success and I don't even know what they look like. But they were having a rough time earlier in the week, and so we were doing a call, and within, I don't know, maybe a 15-second span, they used the words stuck, overwhelmed. I think he said we're off track. They were feeling that, and we all feel that from time to time. Luckily, I've been working with them for a while, and the things that I'm about to talk to you about, they already knew, so I just needed to remind them and get them back on track. But I realized I should go live. I should share this. I'll also write about it because, I probably won't say everything that I mean to say today. But there are 3 things that if you are overwhelmed, if you are stuck, that can get you back on track. Now, there are probably more than 3. These are the 3 that most of my clients find great success with. So these are the 3 that we always start with, and then if we need to dive deeper, we do. But number 1 is to have in advance your own personal unstuck list. So this is very similar to in my group program when I teach people to have the internal clutter toolkit. This is very, very similar. But for this unstuck list, just know ahead of time some things that switch your energy, that get you back on track. So for some people, they are movement. They are standing up, walking around, going outside, taking a breath of fresh air, taking off your shoes and putting your feet in the grass, jumping up and down, jumping up and down. And the other day I was telling some of the women in my mastermind, I actually skipped, like skip when you're a kid, and it shifted the way I felt for about 2 hours. I felt completely different, and I felt like taller and more energized. And so sometimes that movement can help you just, change things around quickly. One of the other things that some of my clients use, and we've actually had a guest speaker on this here in the past, is different scents. So whether it's lighting your favorite candle that makes you feel good, whether it's sniffing something like peppermint. Peppermint has energizing properties, it wakes you up. Lemon can keep you on track, help you accomplish your tasks. Lavender is very soothing. So some people really respond and like to use different scents. So that's the second thing. So movement, scent. Some people it's sound. Some people it's turning on focus music or music at different frequencies. Or for some people it's good old-fashioned like 80s rock, whatever it is, for a few moments that can really change things around for you. You can combine them. You can have a dance party, like the music and the sound. Another thing that helps for a lot of people is, especially if you're like a very kinesthetic learner, movement is very important to you and you learn by doing, is to change location, change your chair even. Something as simple as that. If you're stuck and you're like, I've got to finish this project, Carrie, I don't have time to stand up and skip across the room. Something as simple as sitting in a different chair can shift things for you. So play around with that before you're stuck. Sorry, I just had something weird pop up on my screen. So that you'll know and that you can pull from that when you're feeling overwhelmed or just like, I can't go on, I can't do this anymore. So know your own personal unstuck list. These are so important that I've actually had a free PDF for years that I share both on my website, and I have a special site. It's actually cluttertoclaritysteps.com. I'll put the link in the comments, but knowing ahead of time things that work for you to get you unstuck is very, very important. So that's number 1. Have your unstuck list. Number 2 is to know, again, ahead of time, what emotion or energy am I wanting to feel today? Some of the people I work with choose a whole overarching energy for the month, like to get their work done. Some people choose for a week or a day or even just in the moment for a project. So, and in addition, I have my clients set their vision. Let's say we're working on your office. You need to know ahead of time, before you start organizing or before you start any changes, how do you want to feel in that space? And you're going to set up your house, your office, your bedroom, whatever, differently based on the emotion that you want to feel in that space. So if you want to feel calm when you walk into a space, or if you want to feel energized or motivated or accomplished or hopeful, these are all really good emotions and energies that my clients have had success with. So if you feel yourself slipping, stuck, like what did he say? I wrote it down, off track. Ask yourself, like, what am I feeling? Am I feeling discouraged? Am I feeling, that stuck feeling? How do I want to feel? Do I want to feel hopeful, energized, calm, motivated, confident? And again, the key here is learn what those feel like in your body before you're overwhelmed. So if you find yourself, doing something, you're humming along and you're getting all your stuff done, or maybe you organized a closet or whatever it is, ask yourself, step back for a second and say, how do I feel right now? Because things are going really well. Am I feeling accomplished? Am I feeling proud? Am I feeling, and then ask yourself, like, where do you feel that? How do you feel that? So that when you're stuck, you can go back and you can replicate it. You can say, you know what? I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm going to shake it off. I'm going to use something from my unstuck list, come back. Okay, now I'm going to complete this task in the energy of motivated or accomplished. Again, the key is learning what it feels like before. So I do a lot with my clients on that. That's just a very, tiny snippet, but that's number 2. So number 1, have your unstuck list. Number 2, really watch your energy and your emotion and know what you want it to be for whatever the situation is, your project or your day, whatever you're trying to accomplish. And then number 3 is extremely important, and I'll tell you a story of how this worked out for these clients. Number 3 is to always know your next small step. So let's say you do a brain dump, you have your big to-do list, you've broken it down, these are the things I need to accomplish today, my top 3 priorities, these are the things for the week, these are maybe off in the future, but always know, either written, I like written because we can't always count on our brains, but always know what is the next small step. Because when you feel overwhelmed or when you feel off track, if our brain can't grasp onto, like, okay, what's the next small thing I can do, our default is to give up. Close it up, close the computer, go take a nap, whatever it is. We just want to give up. But if we always have that next small step in the back of our mind, it's easier to take action on it. So for example, these clients have been working through a lot of things in their home. They did paper, now they're working on physical things in their home. So they've been trying to come up with a way to go through their clothes that they have. So I suggested they have a table, a folding table, put it against the wall and use that as a staging area, an area to sort, of what goes, what donate, what's, keep, what, all those type of things. So they knew, well, the wife knew, that her next thing that she was going to do was her pants. We had talked about that. She had said, okay, yeah, that's my next thing. I'm going to do the pants. She hadn't started on her pants yet. But one day she was feeling very derailed by a lot of the paper and office things that they had to do. And so she knew, okay, you know what? I'm going to go do pants. And when we talked about it, because she said, oh, and I sorted this, and I took this bag to Goodwill, and then I felt better, and I got back to what I was doing. I pointed out to her if she didn't have that plan, what would she have done? Like, would she have just given up for the day? Would she have, and she said, no, I wouldn't have sorted the pants. There would be one less bag out of this house. But I knew that my next small step in my home decluttering and organization was the pants. So always know your next small step. Maybe it's to call someone. Maybe it's to fill out a form. Maybe it's to clean one area or do one load of laundry or whatever it is. But always know your next small step, because if you know it and you've already planned it, it's going to make it easier to carry it out. So those are the 3 things, if you're feeling stuck, that almost always a combination of these 3 can get you back on track. So know your own personal unstuck list and pull from that. Know what energy and emotion you want to be in for the project or for the day or for whatever you have to complete. And then always know your next small step. So those are the 3 that will keep you on track, get you back on track. If you have any questions or comments, I'll put the link to my unstuck list that I share. It's not comprehensive. Like I said, there's a lot more things, but it's a good start. And I'll share that link here. And let me know if you have any thoughts or questions. Have a great day, everyone. Happy Halloween.